So, Paul Gold, it's 2 months since I last spoke to you. We were fairly upbeat that we'd be back on the turf in no time. It's not sort of worked out like that. How's it been for you in lockdown?
Oh, not too bad. I think, I didn't really have a plan. I just fell into, I guess I think I must have read somewhere that it helps you mentally if you get into a routine. And sorry, I haven't looked at the interview back in March.
I have. Don't worry.
Forgive me if I'm repeating myself, but with all due respect to people in the manual sort of trade, I start early. We have lunch early, and basically I finish early. So I finish at 4:30, 5 o'clock. If I'm halfway through a job, like I don't know, I've been painting a fence, and today it's raining, so we've got a. I guess it sounds all boring, domestic. I'm going to polish the floor, So, and I think you just have to have a routine. But what I was going to say is, whereas when I was working at the racecourse, I'd have my dinner when I got back, or all that sort of thing, and then maybe I'd do a bit more work. I don't do any of that now. So if what doesn't get done today gets done tomorrow. And like everyone, I have my up days and down days. It helps. We're still doing obviously the social distancing thing, and we met some friends yesterday. We cycled to their house and sat in the garden. I'm very mindful that we're fortunate we can do that.
Okay.
People don't have gardens. It's particularly with the very fine weather we're having is tough. But we're getting by. I need a haircut, and as you can see, but I'm turning into a bit of a hippie. But there we go. I think I'm not sure when we're going to get back at the racecourse. I was a bit disappointed yesterday that the news that Goodwood's. Well, it was expected, but Goodwood's been cancelled, But I suppose it just gives everyone plenty of notice. And I'm about to have a battle with the hotel about moving the dates to next year, as it was a non-refundable booking. But there we go. I'm just looking. I think what I have learnt from this. COVID-19, this way it's affected all our lives, is that goodwill is very important. So people that have been kind and helped you out, whether it be in business or even like we support. There's a fruit and veg lady down the road, and we walk down there and get our fruit and veg. A bit more expensive than the normal supermarket, but she's been very helpful, and I think you will remember those sort of people when this is all over.
Okay, well,
go on.
I have watched the video that you did previously, in which you said you were going to paint the kitchen, do 1,000-piece jigsaws, do Joe Wicks every morning, and go on an hour cycle ride every day. How did that all pan out?
Well, there's two of those things I haven't done. One is the 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. Fortunately, just the weather's been tremendous. I've got jobs to do, like accounts and all those sort of things that I wouldn't normally do to the autumn, which I can do. But because it's so nice, I've been outside. We do Joe Wicks every day at 9 o'clock.
Still.
Oh Christ! Yeah.
That's a big price. That was still being going on.
But, thank you very
well
much.
done. Hats off to you.
I just see the difference. I just he's very upbeat, and it's. I found Monday this week particularly hard, but and he finds different things to do. He's just a very upbeat guy, and so that's 9 o'clock. What was the fourth thing? We don't do an hour cycling. We did cycle yesterday, but my wife's bike broke, and I haven't. I've got another old bike which she used yesterday.
Paint the kitchen was the other one.
The kitchen. We've done the kitchen. Oh, cracking me! That was early doors, as they say. I did that. I've painted the fence. I've just done loads of painting around the house, mainly outside. I haven't painted the outside of the house, but I've painted every door, done the done the window frames, all the boring stuff, you know.
Okay, on a serious note,
Yeah.
at the moment, racing's taking place behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
So the SP system is going to be changed because it's obviously just going to be off course. So all those people that go to the racecourse to collect the SPs from the bookies, I assume not going to be there. Is it going to be so embedded by the time bookmakers are allowed back that we're on-course bookies are curtains as far as being involved with the SP goes?
Is it a done deal yet, Simon?
At the moment, there's no choice, is there?
No,
I'm
no,
just
no,
worried
not.
that it'd be so embedded the way they're doing it now that they'll quietly not change it back. What's your views on that?
Well, I think, well, I'm not involved politically. I mean, I think the association should deal with that, and I hope they are. But I think, I mean, I read somewhere that, I mean, are the SPs from the racecourse not going to be included in the sample?
Well, at the moment, they can't be, can they?
No,
What
no,
I'm
no. I'm talking
saying
about
is, if
when we
this
reach
goes
that.
on for 2, 3, 4 months before bookmakers are allowed back,
Yeah.
is the concern that the way they're doing it now, if they had to change it all back again, start sending people to the racecourse, are they just not going to bother? Is it going to be the backdoor way of an industry SP?
I would hope it's not. So, I mean, I'm not a punter, and I can't remember the last time I went into a betting show. I mean, I might have just strolled in a year or so ago just to have a look at some results or whatever. But I don't normally go in. I don't bet, so I don't go in the betting shops. But as I understand it, then when racing was on and we had the bookmakers at the racecourse, I think Paddy Power were the first, quickly followed by William Hill. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I think William Hill have their own prices and then have their own SP. Now, if you take away the choice of having the SP as when you used to work at the racecourse, you know, the SP compilers and this sort of thing, I think that's totally wrong. You know, it's freedom of choice for the customer, and it shouldn't happen. I guess it's look. I'm not normally a cynical guy, okay, and we all have to make money, okay. However, I feel that it's the slippery road, and I noticed on Monday, and I had a look at a couple of races yesterday, that the margins were around 1% for the off-course industry. I mean, I just can't see that lasting, you know. And if the industry SP does not include the SP from the racecourse, then I think it'll be a very sad day, and it should be fought. I mean, will the exchanges be included in the SP?
I don't know. I don't know. I suppose in a way they already are, aren't they? Because they are
on course racecourse.
Mm-hmm.
Because the book is. I just think it's a sad day, and we should fight it. I mean, they complained about it. The margins, I think, are about 1 3/4% prior to all this happening. And then prior to the Monday, and I didn't go through all the races yesterday, but I assume yesterday is be the same. I'm just a bit cynical. Why are the margins even worse than what they would be at the racecourse at the moment? It can only be because they would get flack, is my view. Now, you know, I'm not about to. I'm not the person who normally knocks off-course bookmakers, and I don't suffer from cynicism. But I mean, I just think it's just a slippery road to 2.5, whatever, 3% a runner.
Well, let's hope you're wrong, and it's anyway. But one last one, Paul?
Sure.
What's your date? You think we're going back? We'll be back on the racecourse.
Well, I had a bet with a friend of mine, only for £1. For
steady.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what he suggested. The stake. Yes, you're right. Steady sounds irrelevant, doesn't it? I thought November, which is a bit doom and gloom.
Let's hope you're wrong.
A couple of months ago, when we did the last interview, I would have hoped for glorious Goodwood, but that's been knocked on the head. I think that there won't. I don't think there'll be meetings with lots of spectators for some time. I think how it will start will be I don't know, a Bath or a Chepstow, somewhere like that, a small racecourse with all due respects, and they'll limit the crowd to 400 or 500 or 400, and then the owners and trainers will go, and annual members, you'll have to book online, maybe temperature checks when you get there, but there wouldn't be, I wouldn't have thought that the first meeting would be an Ascot, you know, where you get 15,000 from one of their good Saturdays, and I think the encores, we should all be looking at this way that the punters are going to pay you, and be, you know, us be responsible in how we take bets, you know. So I think contactless to me seems to be the only answer at the moment, and AGT are on their website, they said they're doing something for, they're negotiating with a card company so that we could take bets via, you know, like you go and have a cup of coffee and use your phone or what have you, you know, and you'd have a little handheld terminal like you would at a restaurant sort of thing, and you put your phone over it, but I think one of the obstacles, I mean, we already take contest bets. I'm rambling on a bit, Simon. We always do already do contactless payments at the racecourse, but we can't refund onto the card. So that's like a next issue, isn't it? Punter has a bet, pays on his card. How am I going to pay him? You know, it's all very well me having gloves and masks, hand sanitizers, but you know, what about the customer? You've got to think of the customer, you know.
So
I mean,
if you've got your time scale, there's a fair amount of time to try and get that all sorted out. So
it is, yeah, true enough. You know,
positive. So plenty of time. Hopefully by then it'll all be ready to rock, and it'll be a different landscape. But on-course bookmakers are still in business.
And I hope there's not industry prices.
No, well, me too. That's we can revisit that again.
Yeah,
and hopefully all you bookies will get together as one for a change and fight on one for one cause.
Yeah. We shall go.
It's a big price, isn't it?
That's like that's another half an hour interview. All the associations get together, you know. But yes, we should get together, you know, because and fight common cause of these industry prices. I think it's wrong. It's a short answer.
On that note, Paul, we'll leave it. But thank you ever so much for talking to us again. Oh, one last thing. You said your wine cellar was well stocked. Is it still?
No. No. I hasten to add, I don't have a cellar, but I've still got a few bottles left. But I think I'll have to wait for the sales, which don't seem to be too forthcoming at the moment, you know. But yeah, we're all right at the moment. Thank you for asking, Simon.
Okay, well, thanks very much. I look forward to seeing you on the turf.
You will indeed. I look forward to seeing you. All the best, Simon. Thanks for ringing.
Paul, and you. Thank you very much.